This is a series you better have your eyes on. So as I was watching this performance, I realized this thing that will likely upset some people on this desk. The Suns are a big three and did what they were supposed to do. You know what was so fascinating watching that game? Chris Paul, 16 points. Devin Booker, 38 points. I said to myself, wait a second, 54 points. That's a lot without Kevin Durant. I asked myself, the big three that we most often think of, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, how many times did the second two, D. Wade, Chris Bosh, combine for 54-plus points? Y'all realize in more than 70 games, only once did Bosh and D. Wade combine for more than 54 points. And in the second playoff game of a big three ever, D. Book and Chris Paul did it? I said, wait a second. This Suns team should be the favorite to win a chip because this Suns team is the most talented team. Should be. So when I was watching that game, I said to myself, why I think the world should believe the Suns should win a chip. You got 75 points out of three people? Like, where they do that at? And the minimum of the three was 16? To me, Shady, I learned that the Suns are who we think they are, which should be the most talented team in basketball. Should be.
I love Chris Paul, so I won't say anything bad about him. But
you can't. 16 and 8.
Yeah, but the first game he had 7 points.
That happened.
You did. Wait, what? That can't just happen.
It happened.
I mean, you the big three. You can't just have 7 points.
Chris Bosh had under 10 points 17 times in the playoffs with the big three. 17 times. Let's not rewrite history.
This is new. This just started. The playoffs just started. His first game, he had 7. This game, he had 16.
Yeah.
I'll just talk about
Talk to me.
the god, Kevin Durant, okay? And I'm going to talk about Booker. They're averaging 58 points together. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Last night showed me that's the team that we all been waiting for.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's going to be a time where KD's going to have to put most of the workload on his shoulders. Same thing with Booker. Put most of the workload on his shoulders because the bench is not going to get it done.
At all.
And the only thing that scares me is going deeper and deeper in the playoffs. If there is some battles, right? You win 2, they win 2, and you keep going to game 6, game 7s, as you get tired, fatigue. Yep. Kevin Durant's not a young guy, right? And he has been injured. So I was thinking about all them type of things where going forward, if they have these type of games, right, and they got to do all the workload, eventually that fatigue tires you out.
Shady, I did see a stat, not even a stat, I just looked at the box score. Kevin Durant, I think, played 44 minutes yesterday, played 45 minutes in game 1. They are taking chunks of flesh away from the Suns, even if the Suns do prevail and by 14 points, which they did. Joy, where do you stand? What did the game 2 performance tell you?
He said I was going to be mad at him before this segment started. You're right. I don't even want to get into that. I'm going to just answer the question.
Don't get distracted.
This is why they were favored. Mm-hmm. When Booker plays like that, third quarter was unbelievable.
Balling.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Paul contributes like he should consistently.
Right.
Then they're going to win like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it told me. Well, I don't want to get into the whole big three thing. I don't have enough time in this segment.
We will revisit that.
Oh, next segment?
No.
No. I'm saying I'm going to derail the whole segment and explain, you know what I mean, how deep the rest of those teams were and how we don't say that LeBron.
We didn't say big team, we said a big three.
Okay, but we don't count those championships as fake championships for LeBron.
Not at all.
But he played
LeBron's realest chip came in 2016 with the Cavs.
I agree with that.
But the other ones,
I said realist. Shady, realist.
The ones in Miami
No, they do. They definitely count.
Okay.
They definitely count.
Do they count as much? Do they count as much as KD's? Because now you're trying to tell me that this one won't count, that this one won't clear KD, but his big three is better than the Miami.
No, I think that there is an equivalence between if KD were to win in Phoenix and LeBron winning in Miami, I think equal. I think equal.
This is silly talk.
How?
Championship is championship.
But
see, I don't want to do all that. Let's
do it.
Let's talk about the
do what you want to do.
Let's talk about the greatness, though. Like if you really watched that game last night.
Devin Booker was crazy.
Okay, you're right. But the thing is, with Kevin Durant, he changed the game, right? For example, now you got to put your best defender, Kawhi Leonard, on him. You need Kawhi to go out there and score 30, which he did. But he also got to play defense on Kevin Durant. Then they start doing double teams, passing the ball around. Then you got guys like Eric Gordon, who I love as an offensive player. Now he got to guard Booker? Come on. Whatever team plays the Suns, you got to have 2 elite defenders. Because if not, you're going to see what happened last night. You put Kawhi on KD. True. If you do that, or you got a double, whatever one you want to pick, and then you put your second defender with Eric Gordon on Booker. Yeah, Kevin Durant with the Suns, they're 9-1. I know they lost the first game. That's cool. But when he plays, they're 9-1. They're number 1 in defense in the playoffs. Listen, I can't make this up.
Come on.
Put respect on my boy's name because he's the guard.
We're 2 games into the playoffs, and now we're going to talk about being.
Every game counts.
A lot of teams playing right now.
Every game counts. Yeah.
Does every game counts? So Chris Paul is not good because he had 7 points in game 1.
I
didn't say he wasn't good.
Well, what you qualified though that he wasn't a part of the big 3 or that.
I never said he wasn't part of the big 3. You never heard nobody say that.
So what I'm saying is, you look down on his 7 points in game 1?
What you mean? You lost home. You lost home court advantage. That does matter. That game they played at 7 points. That matters. On defense, you seen the game plan. The offensive game plan for the Clippers was to go at who?
Chris Paul.
So. Chris Paul, right, Slick? So I can't take that away. That game happened.
LeBron James had 8 points in Game 4 against the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals.
I mean, but LeBron has rings.
Equity.
Understood.
But at the time,
Understood.
At the time he didn't, though. At the time he did not.
Saying now, so we don't pay attention to that.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to dog Chris Paul because he had 7 points.
Hold up. If I'm going to say every great thing about a player, I got to be honest.
Personally, to be clear, all I'm saying is the Miami Big 3 was better than this current Big 3.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think anybody would give you that. Yeah.
They fit together better.
They were better, but they're both big 3s.
But here's the heart of it. This is the difficulty that I'm discovering.
It's getting crazy in this show.
Discovering doing TV on a daily basis is that it is really easy to overreact to any one game in a series.
I have never overreacted in my career.
Well, that would put you ahead of me.
So what'd you learn then, Slick? Where you at? What'd you learn?
I didn't learn anything. This was the Phoenix Suns the way we expect them to be, where Chris Paul, obviously playing with a lot of pride because he only had 7 points and he knew that Shady was going to dog him because of that, had to come back and play better in game 2. Devin Booker gives the game away in game 1 and comes back and gives you... When Devin Booker gets rolling, Devin Booker is really hard to stop, right? And Kevin Durant is just capable of doing everything else that you need when things are going well. The question is going to be, can these 3 consistently play like this to make up for a bench that is practically non-existent?
But Slick, is that even a legitimate question, given the fact that Book, since he's been in the playoffs, has played like this?
Not always.
Not always 38, but Book is average in the playoffs like 26, 27, 28. Chris Paul, he had 7, but Chris Paul averages, even in his son's playoff days, he gonna give you 15, 16. So I don't even think what yesterday was crazy. Bro, I remember Book giving the Lakers work 2 years ago, knocking them out the playoffs. Book is crazy. Crazy.
But it's up and down. There's times where Books gives you those games, and he may score well, but it's going to take him a ton of shots to get it.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
And that skews things.
True.
And then he's not giving you the same effort that he gives consistently defensively. That's the whole issue with this team is we can look at these 3 and say, man, they got a big 3. These 3, when they're rolling, who's better than those 3?
Yeah.
Can these 3 play like this night in and night out? Because they don't have room where some of these other teams do, where if they're not playing this great, who are you turning to?
Let me ask you this, and then we got to go to break. I'm curious. To me, this isn't the big 3 playing crazy good. They played like they always play. Booker averages 26, I just heard, in the playoffs. KD averages 29. So, this wasn't out. This was just another Tuesday.
Didn't play like another.
Booker had 38. That's way more.
Yeah, but KD only had 26. Chris Paul, I think, probably averaged
25.
17.
Chris Paul had 16.
So it's this. That wasn't.
But that was just 40-40 from both of them.
True. But to me, Joy, I'm I didn't watch that game man, we're not going to see Book do this. Book will likely do this.
This is why they were favored.
Book do this in his sleep. Give you a quick 38.
Yeah, but it's the way you got to guard him. When you really watch the game and they got crunch time, how you going to guard this team? Right? Because you don't have to be super efficient when you got Kevin Durant on your squad, right? Where Booker's used to getting all the defensive attention. It's not like that no more. You see what I'm saying? Now you got to put your second defender on him. And most teams don't have that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why they're so scary.
It helps to join the best team in basketball the last 2 years.
I never bashed Chris Paul. You said that. He gave me 2 tickets before, man, to a game.
Slick.
Oh, man. Wow.
We love CP3.
I love my dog.
You walked him down a little bit.
This is the best team that we've ever seen in the history of the sport, and KD joined them again. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.